Shalom. Kal halayim la, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Achamin and Akwaf across the four winds. This is your brother Bartholomew from Great Millstone, Houston. You know, that's GMS. Coming to you with a quick lesson. I saw this on CNN, CNN.com, CNN Business. 99-year-old trucking company, Yellow, shuts down, putting 30,000 out of work. Now, Yellow Trucking, they pretty much was a dominant player, as the article said, in the trucking industry. They had pretty low rates, across the board, for their type of deliveries. But the union couldn't come up with an agreement. So they pretty much having to shut it down, really. They're finna lose a whole lot of lives, livelihoods, I should say, not lives, but a lot of people's livelihood, they're gonna have to find somewhere else. But the trucking industry has been going down really during the pandemic. So, Lord willing, this quick lesson is edifying. I'm, pull a few little bits and pieces from the article and then bring out a couple precepts. The worker, they had a worker concession also, which is like a service, a professional food service, similar to like when you go to like ball stadiums and you see those guys selling peanuts and, beers and things like that. So they pretty much had something similar to that. They didn't go into detail of how it was set up, but, they invested, billions into that. And then they also received millions during the bailout, from the federal government. So they received a lot of money, but, it just goes to show you that Babylon the Great, which is America, also known as the daughter of Babylon, America's CTD is circling the drain. Even these bailouts and these loans are not helping these, major companies. So they receive billions for the food services. Truckers, they like to snack and eat. So there's no telling what all kind of snacks and drinks that they had provided. But, from that bailout, it just wasn't happening. So the company took on a significant amount of debt, pretty much trying to buy out a lot of other trucking companies, and they just couldn't maintain what they were doing, for the past 20 years. But in 2020, during the pandemic, they took out a 700 million loan. But hey, now all of that is pretty much failing, so they're gonna have to file for bankruptcy. That's why they're gonna lose 30,000 workers. But let me go into these precepts. Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. So, the trucking industry is vast. I know here in Texas, the logistics is real big in Texas, but even from within, the entire United States, like the trucking industry is pretty much the lifeline. Like everything comes, since, America imports pretty much everything. So everything has to come in on freight on those cargo ships. Like I like to call them the JP Morgan trap ships. They got caught with 1.3 plus billion worth of cocaine on their cargo ship. They lost some of the cocaine, so they say, but they got to keep the ship. Interesting, huh? But everything is imported on these freight, and then they come in on these big cargo ships, and then once they get to the port and they get checked in, you have logistic companies that go pick them up. So soon that's going to cease. Even at these ports, I seen a quick clip about how they're going to have pretty much like robots doing a lot of the work at these ports. So even that's going to cease. A lot of people are going to be, a lot of those jobs are going to be cut also. But 30,000 is a lot of workers to lose. Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. So real soon, all of these companies' doors are going to be shut. It ain't gonna be no more work. They want you to have UBI, which is Universal Basic Income. That's gonna go onto your microcharagma, that grain of rice that goes underneath your skin. Plus, they want to put you in these 15-minute cities to where you can have access to everything, so they can cut back on carbon with the CO2 or whatnot. And another thing too, they go on more electric vehicles, or I should say electric 18-wheelers. Tesla is coming out with one, but they trying to cut back on that too. So they trying to do electric 18-wheelers, and they're going to be pretty much self-driving also. So even more workers, even more truckers are going to lose their jobs. So it just goes to show you that the door shall be shut in the street. It ain't going to be no more work. Matter of fact, let me grab that precept. Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So it's not going to be any more work here in Egypt. And then when you read it in NLT, it says all are helpless. So, those that are working, waking up to grind, they're going to be helpless, because they're going to have to refer to the government, which is Isaiah 30 and verse 1 and Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe unto you that go down to Egypt for help. And America is the modern day Egypt. Egypt goes into bondage. This is our captivity, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not. That's the truth. And we're here to tell you the truth and give you warning. But there's not going to be any more work in Egypt. Okay. Job 14:5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So this trucking company's been around for 99 years. They couldn't even reach the century mark. The Lord had it set up to where they only got to 99. Like, what's that Jay-Z song? Got 99 problems, but a chick ain't one. Hey, they got 99 years. They couldn't get to that 100-year mark. So the Lord has, bounds that he cannot pass. And I know for a fact, people at this company didn't believe that. They believed that they were going to be working forever, that they was going to get pensions. And you see clips of workers not receiving, pensions. They're going to take a lot of retirement money, 401ks, like all of this extra money. These companies are cutting out because they're cutting corners so that they can line their pockets, so that they can be safe and, have some type of security, some type of comfort for them and their family. But Isaiah 49:11, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. So I'm pretty sure Yellow thought, hey, we've been going this long. Hey, we're going to keep going, even during the pandemic. That's why they took out that loan, so they can continue to go. But they, bit off more than they can chew by trying to take up, trying to own, more trucking companies and doing other logistic aspects. Well, hell, that's going to fail. It's not going to continue forever. Well, Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon. So that's about it on this lesson. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the Akim and a few Akwat across the four winds. Shalom and Abba Ball.